through the city where I'm from and they show love. Yeah, life rough, but I'm blessed that I woke up. New York City with a young gotta grow up fast or they will not last.
And
Can it
episode
really be-
29, 28, I don't even know, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's 29.
I'm not even counting no more.
Well, I just put them up and put a number, and I haven't looked in a while what it says on the website, so I'm not sure.
I think it's 28 or 29. You're right.
But how's it going?
But can we even do a podcast intro without horns? I mean, at this point,
No.
At this point, it's kind of like a given, right?
Yeah, there's got to be some horn somewhere in there, or the
Yeah.
outro, or something. There's gonna be horns.
There's got to be some motherfucking horns, bro.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So the real life instrument that makes that sound is a trumpet, right?
That one.
There was something close
That one
to
might have
it.
been I feel like it might have been a saxophone, but I'm not sure now.
Oh, that could have been a saxophone. You're right.
I mean, it could have been a reed instrument of any kind, oboe,
Yeah.
clarinet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since
I mean-
I was around a brass or reed section. It's episode 28, just so you guys know. We know what episode it is.
Yeah, hell yeah. Every time I say hell yeah, I was watching Tropic Thunder last night.
Oh my god, I have to watch that soon. I own
Hell
it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Hell yeah, son.
You listen to him on
I'm
Rogan,
cooking
right?
some chitlins, yeah.
Oh god. What do you mean, you people? Huh? I love how when he gets caught in something, he's like, huh?
That shit literally kills me, bro.
Yeah.
I was watching that movie and I was like, damn, this movie was so before its time, dude.
Well, and it's also weird because if you could just look at it on the surface and you're like, wait, somebody got away with playing blackface, but it's different because one, it's not the guy choosing to do it that was the actor. It was someone else's right. Well, it was actually Ben Stiller, but I mean, he's portraying a guy who is choosing to do that in his career. Like he's literally, it's kind of complex actually.
Yeah. It's like Inception in a way.
What's his name? Actually, he says that. He's just like, I'm a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude.
Playing another dude.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh shit, you are. And that's why he like breaks at the end of the movie because he's like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah.
He got skin pigmentation surgery. Not that he painted his face, but he got his skin darkened with a surgical procedure.
Yeah, it was so good, man. And I think what lends to it being receiving the way it was, I think is two parts. One, I don't think things were as that sensitive back then. And two, he was so good at it that for a second you forget it's Robert Downey Jr.
You really can't even tell, for the
you
longest time.
You cannot tell.
Because when he's not when he's not playing the black guy, he's an Australian guy, like with bleached blonde hair and light blue eyes, so he doesn't really look anything like the real guy.
Yeah, I mean, he played it. I don't know of many actors who could try to play a black dude and actually get it to the point where you forget it's a white dude playing a black dude. And I think a lot of people will go to the stereotypical white guys who act like black dudes, but the reason I think you'd be able to tell is because just like when gay guys or trans guys try to act like women, they act like an exaggerated form that's not really a man and it's not really a woman either. With white guys that try to be black, it's this exaggerated form of blackness that doesn't eat. Like most black people were like, what is that? It ain't black. Like it's just this like weird in between thing that is like its own. That's why people called it wigger, because
it's what Eminem is.
Yeah, well, but like Eminem doesn't try to act black though.
Maybe Eminem and 8 Mile. I don't know. Maybe him and 8 Mile is what I'm thinking, but maybe not even that.
Maybe.
I know what you're. I mean, I went to middle school and high school with people,
right?
Of
Yeah,
this
so you
nature.
know,
yeah, completely. It just but also it's a product of where you grew up as well. Because I mean, a lot of those kids are just growing up with black friends, and that's it. So that's kind of all they know. And I mean, if they're imitating or if they're just picking something up, and it's like, shit, I'd like to hope I don't act like the friends I grew up with all the time, but I'm sure you take on character traits, of everybody that has some sort of impact on you, I guess.
Yeah, and I know it's like a knock to when white people act like black people, but it's like, or like the whole cultural appropriation thing. And it's like, isn't that like the biggest form of flattery? Isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
Don't you want people to compliment and take your style and try to implement it into their own culture? Isn't that like the biggest sign of respect?
Lydia's got a kimono, so I don't know how people feel about that, but she's Puerto Rican, and that's
rocking a kimono, dog.
Yeah, and that's obviously Japanese, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's like Pineapple Express when they walk in. He's like, I'm rocking a kimono, dog.
Life, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm rocking what are you rocking? I'm rocking a kimono, dog. Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, what are you wearing? A suit? God damn it. I have that movie too. Man, there's some hits right there.
Those some fucking classics, bro.
They don't even make comedy movies anymore. Like, they really
not like
don't.
that.
No,
not like that.
Seriously,
no.
It was like 2017. The top comedy, I think, was Thor, Ragnarok. It was funny as hell, but it was like, that's not supposed to be the top comedy. That's ridiculous.
True. What do you think happened with that?
A lot of them there's just so many fucking movies now that they don't get advertised as much. But I mean, they just don't make them as much. But there was also a run of specific director and actor combinations in terms of like Judd Apatow and the people that did Superbad, Pineapple Express.
40-Year-Old Virgin was him
Stiller,
too, right?
Ben Stiller, come to find out, actually from that Robert Downey Jr. interview, he wrote a lot of what's it called? Different movies. I didn't even know he wrote Tropic Thunder before that interview.
I didn't either.
But he was responsible for a ton of different comedies in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, I guess that
they just
age
got
is
old
just
and
growing older.
They're doing other shit now.
Yeah. Because you're right. After I think the last Judd Apatow thing that I can remember, the two are Knocked Up and This Is 40. Those are the last ones that I can remember where they were that type of genre, that type of sometimes dark comedy, teetering on the border of like really offensive, but like that comedy that challenges you to think.
I think his wife is a really good actor. You know that red-haired lady is his wife?
Yes, that's his wife. Yeah.
Something Mann, Leslie Mann,
yes.
I think is her name.
And aren't those his kids too?
Oh, I think they are, and Knocked Up maybe. But what's it called? Did you ever see Funny People by him?
I haven't seen the whole thing, no.
Yeah, probably because it's depressing as shit, and you were like, well, I thought those were going to be funny. Sometimes it's funny. Like, Aziz Ansari is actually in it. He plays Randy. Do you remember that character?
Yeah.
He's funny as shit as that character. But, like, other than that, it's actually just about kind of a comedian losing his career, I think, or trying to come back. And really,
and doesn't he get, like, cancer or something?
It's Adam Sandler, isn't it? I think it's Adam Sandler.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a long time. He's apparently he got snubbed for the Oscar nominations. That what is it? Some jewelry.
I've been meaning
heist thing. I don't know what it's about. Actually, is it on Netflix? I gotta watch that shit. But it's people were outraged that he wasn't nominated for Best Actor for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace.
Yeah,
because you don't think of Adam Sandler in that role.
This motherfucker just after what was it? Billy Madison and whatever. I can't even name those other movies, but they were so bad, most of them. Like, every movie was just awful. I was like, what are you doing? Stop.
But he made these movies.
He got paid so much. He got paid so much. It didn't matter.
Oh, of course.
50
but
mil,
he made these movies. I mean, for sure he was getting paid a ton of money, but he was making these movies where they were bad, but you couldn't help but watch them. Like, take, for example, like 50 First Dates. I've watched 50 First Dates.
That wasn't
like 30 times. Every time it's on TV.
That was kind of a unique concept. It wasn't absolutely awful. That was maybe he was still doing okay stuff.
It was pretty decent.
But that was more like a romantic comedy, not necessarily, when he was. Maybe that's all he did. I guess that is all he did. But there was one where he played his twin sister and himself.
Oh, God.
I forget. But that's just like, I feel like that's the epitome of.
That's when you know your career's on some other shit.
I mean, no, he probably got 50 for that one too. Like, it was.
Yeah, of course. I think there's
it was
only
called
one
Jack
person.
And Jill. Now I remember.
Yeah, Jack and Jill. If my memory serves me correctly, there's only one comedian or even actor of that nature. any actor who's been able to play themselves and another character in a movie and be successful at it. No, it's two, and they're not. One is a comedian, one is not. Tom Hardy in that one where he plays him like he's a gangster and whatever. And
wait, he
Eddie
plays
Murphy.
himself?
Yeah, he not plays himself. I'm sorry, but he plays two characters in the movie simultaneously.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never saw that actually. Yeah,
I never saw it either. But from what I heard, it was good. From what I heard, it was good.
Okay.
It didn't get terrible reviews, and the only other person I know to do it somewhat successfully is Eddie Murphy with the Nutty Professor and the clumps and shit.
It's so good. That's amazing. And now he's finally come back.
So good.
I don't know. Yeah. Have you watched the one that he did on Netflix?
Dolomite is My Name.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! It's so good.
Is it? I haven't seen it yet. It's on. I put it on the list, man. But there's just so many. I've been actually.
Man,
I don't know if it's nominated for anything, but
different level good. It's good, man.
Yeah, dude. When just watching the preview, I was like, "Wait, I know him. I know him. I know her. I know him. I know him." Like it was just full of people that I know are going to be good in it.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed it. It was a very it was intelligently done. I thought it showed how versatile of an actor and comedian that Eddie Murphy is, and I'm excited because he's on contract to do what 3 or 4 specials for I think 3 specials for Netflix, 2 or 3. I don't know the exact number.
When is that supposed to be? This year?
I'm pretty sure they said 2020, if I remember correctly. So those should be coming out pretty soon.
Sorry, I have to know what he made from this oh my fucking god!
From what?
From Jack and Jill. Where he played what?
What?
How much did it cost? It probably didn't cost shit to make. It made $74 million domestically and $76 million internationally. So $150 million worldwide.
Wow, man!
It did $25 million the opening weekend, which is only 33. So it only cost $75 million. So they made $75 million on it. Oh,
damn,
fucking
that
God.
is.
But I'm just looking for how much he made because it just makes me. I mean, it's not upsetting. It's just like, goddamn, he's just throwing it out there because he probably had a certain number of movies he had to do with a certain studio, and just
could have been
like they do the album things with album record labels.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm interested to. The one thing that I've thought about quite consistently especially over the last couple of years when it comes to movies is, why is there so much trash? And has there always been this much trash?
There's just too many options. You got to be careful with your choices.
Yeah, but
your research.
Even deeper than that. Well, yeah, I mean certainly, and then people are lying and buying reviews, but even deeper than that, I guess is it us causing this problem, or is it the studios? Is it the studios noticing that, hey, we can throw a bunch of bullshit together and we'll still make, say, 70 odd million on it? Or is it, I'm trying to think, like, it's a chicken or the egg problem. Are we creating the demand for shitty movies?
But I don't
Or are they just putting out shitty movies and we're like, oh, it's a famous actor, I'll go see it.
I don't know. I think it's always been like that because I don't see any of these shitty movies. Like, I don't know. And I really don't know they exist. Like, I only watch good movies because I watch trailers to a certain extent. I'll watch like 30 seconds to a minute of a trailer and I know if I'm good on it. And they're like 2.5 minutes normally of a trailer. Because a lot of the time they'll give away the fucking ending in that bitch. So, like at the movies, I'm like, all right, I'm going to look away. I got to look away.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I only watch shit I like. I don't like these people that say they watch bad movies. I'm like, why do you do that? I don't understand why you watch bad things.
That's a good point. But for me, you're better than me because I cannot tell from the previews. I can't. I could because
like
I see so many of these
you?
previews.
What's one that's tricked you that you can remember?
Godzilla.
The new one.
The previews, both of them. Well, the old one was actually not that bad.
I thought the new one was okay. It had a lot of different monsters.
The new one was.
I was
the
all
new
right
one was
with
so
it.
bad.
I was all right with it. I knew what I was getting. I was going in to see CGI monsters, trash and shit, and that's what I got. That's exactly what I got. Lived up to expectations, 100%.
I guess.
That's where the one with Bryan Cranston. I was kind of pissed because they advertised him being in it, and he died in like 30 fucking seconds,
quickly.
Yeah. And like, what? But he was in. He's the whole movie, right? I thought it was like Breaking Bad guy. And wait. Did you finish Breaking Bad?
I have not finished. I'm halfway through season 5.
Fuck. All right. Never mind. We can't talk about it really because I don't know. It's too delicate. I wouldn't know what happened so far. And I don't want to ruin it.
Please don't.
I can't believe you guys didn't binge the rest of it. Season 5 it is long because they split it into 2 parts. It's like 16.
It's 16 episodes.
Yeah, dude. Imagine this. I got into Breaking Bad when season 4 was during season 4. Like live on TV. So I started from the beginning, caught up when it had already finished. So I watched season 4, had to wait a year for season 5, and then they were like, we're going to do it in 2 parts. And the second part of season 5 took a whole nother year to come out. That doesn't make any sense. That's the season 6. That's another season. That doesn't make any sense. It was a brutal wait.
Call that season 5. That makes no sense.
It was a brutal wait.
That was fucked up.
It's a great show. So yeah, let me know when you finish. We'll talk about it on here in depth.
Yeah, no. So the only what has kept us from finishing it is new shit will pop up that will just like squirrel, distract us,
dude.
So take for example,
we go all over the
place. There's this McDonald's fraud.
Lydia
HBO
told
show.
me about it today, and we might watch it.
Oh my god!
Are you talking about the Monopoly game?
Yes. Yes.
I never played that shit because I was like, why would I? I was like, why would I do that? It's too much work, and I don't go to McDonald's that often, so it was just. I knew people that were obsessed with it though. So,
my guy, let me tell you how often I played this fucking game, and I can so.
They only had it once a year, right?
Once a year.
It was like for a month and a half or 2, something like that.
2 months, something like that. I don't remember the exact time.
You're like, McDonald's, breakfast, lunch, dinner, give me the board, give me the fries, upgrade everything. Let me get the double stamps. I need Park Place. I need fucking Park Place. And you know what it was to do? To get more McDonald's bought, right?
Oh, of course. Like
I'm pretty sure they handed that shit out at Safeway too.
They put it in coupon books where you could buy in grocery stores. And
it was definitely Safeway. They tried to get me to do it too.
Yeah. So I remember vividly playing this game and wanting to win so bad. And where they would get you is that you would win a bunch of food. Like I'm talking about every time I bought every time I bought a McChicken, I would win like 2 McChickens and shit like that. So you were always feeling like, oh, I'm on the cusp of like I just need Boardwalk.
Yeah.
That's all I need is fucking Boardwalk.
Boardwalk didn't exist.
And you kept feeling like, dude, I have never heard of anyone win any of the major prizes. Not even by like not even like somebody 3 times removed. And I was like, I always remember vividly thinking to myself, this game is rigged. But then again, that's not really an indication of me knowing something was up, because whenever people don't win at something, they think the game is rigged.
Well,
so it's not really, you know what I mean?
Course.
It's not like I was into
all the lotteries I've ever played have been rigged against me.
Yeah, exactly, right? But it's so funny just thinking back to that time and like how much I used to play that game, and I had no fucking chance of ever winning.
Yeah.
So that was it's a really good documentary. You should get into it.
Yeah. Well,
Have you watched episode 1?
No. So we, because PlayStation View's up, so we don't have any of the stuff anymore. I mean, maybe HBO still works, but I didn't renew anything, so we're just just I don't know, using what we got at this point. So Netflix, fucking, I mean, it's literally unlimited. It doesn't like we'll never watch all that we have already. So we were like, fuck it, I don't need cable. I just got one of those digital antennas, and we watched the Super Bowl. Second half when we got home with that, and it was like, I mean, shit, that was easy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was free.
There's this thing called Mamba TV. You pay $60 every 3 months, and you have access to everything. I'm talking movies, Netflix. It's like everything in the universe that's digital combined into one thing. It's $60. So I mean, but that's every 3 months. So you're talking about $20 a month. Yeah. So it's not crazy expensive. So if you're looking to get into something, then you don't want to do the typical, Verizon or fucking Dish or whatever. That's a good option for you to explore.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. So just check out what they have to offer, man. And
yeah, no, I don't know. We're gonna see how long we can go without it. Probably till baseball season starts.
Yeah.
But fuck, now I'm not all excited about that because of our.
Man, dude.
I mean, might as well get into that, and then we'll get into the sad stuff afterwards, I guess. Well, this is pretty sad, but not as sad. Mm-hmm. So the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018 because, they're good. People said they might have cheated, but there's been nothing to come out about that, even though the Astros already got punished for their stuff. But we went ahead and fired our manager preemptively, and now we don't have a fucking manager going into spring training. Anyways, that manager won the World Series for us with none other than the MVP, Mookie Betts. He's just under Mike Trout as the second best player in the league. It's close to the first best. And he got traded yesterday for fucking pennies, for goddamn pennies. We got
That's crazy, man.
A 23-year-old outfielder, Verdugo, and then some guy named Bruce Gratterall.
What the hell, man?
He throws 100, so he looks pretty. It looks pretty crazy when he was the number one, I guess, pitching prospect for the Twins. I don't know how they got involved in the fucking trade, but they were too. And the Dodgers now have the craziest fucking lineup in ever, because the MVP from last year is Cody Bellinger. He's their cleanup hitter. And he also plays outfield, by the way. He plays center field or first base a lot of the time. So now they have him, Mookie, just everybody. But the Red Sox didn't get shit back for him, one of the best players maybe that they've ever had. And people are comparing it to when we traded away Babe Ruth to finance our stadium. That is still the one they use to this day.
Yeah.
So
I guess you could say it was worth it in a way.
So no coach going into spring training. It starts next week, by the way. That's when they first report to start practicing for the new year.
Yeah.
No spring training, no coach, and then Mookie's gone. So it's like, awesome. Oh, and David, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know if you know who David Price is, but he's also pretty fucking good. Of
course.
Yeah, he was included in that deal as well to go to the
Dodgers.
What? Yeah. He also went to the Dodgers with Mookie, and we just still, like I said, just got back those two 21 and 23-year-old guy. Prospects don't cost any fucking money, and that's why we did it.
Man, look.
And it's I don't understand it because you could just sell the fucking rest of the team and keep Mookie and then build up around him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. So,
So, I'm assuming, okay, so let me first begin by saying I'm not an avid baseball watcher or fan.
Sorry, that was a lot.
I'm just, no. It's good to help me understand. I'm just on the peripheral of baseball. I know enough to follow the game, watch the game, follow along in a conversation. But when they traded away Mookie yesterday for nothing, I was so fucking confused. I was like, what? I cannot comprehend.
I mean, one of the guys
give away your best player.
The guy that they got back. I mean, both of them could be good. They could be really good eventually, but not his caliber. And Mookie was also homegrown talent. That means he was drafted by the Red Sox, brought up through their system, and was the favorite player of basically every fan they had. And it was just oh, you guys are.
So do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think it's analytics?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's 36 that came into. It's weird because they won the World Series, and then 11 months later was the end of the next season, and which was last year, didn't do well. They finished third with almost the same team, but we had a lot of injuries as well, and they fired the president of baseball operations. Damn. So, and he had been with the team for a long time, and obviously helped them win the World Series literally the year before. And they brought in a guy who's 36 years old named Chaim is his first name, Bloom, and
I hate this guy.
And he's all about pretty much analytics. Yeah, so he traded Mookie away. So the Dodgers are definitely going to go to the World Series again for the I don't know how many fucking years in a row.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Nats went last year, but they went 2 years before that. Both years before that. So, yeah. And the Red Sox will probably finish, third, fourth, maybe even last. It'll be fun times.
It's interesting because I've not known baseball to be a game to, football especially, basketball probably second, and then baseball in terms of the time you have to be successful. Typically with baseball, I found that they're given a lot more time. They're given at least 2-3 years, even if they're not 2 good years, to like figure it out. So, and the fact that this guy won a championship 2 years ago is typically enough clout in most sports for at least another 5 years. At least.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe they blamed him for getting into the situation they're in currently, which forced them to trade Mookie because they have they don't have. It's not that they're out of money. It's just they don't want to pay this luxury tax anymore where they get penalized. Yeah. And Mookie costs a lot of money. And if he had stayed, he'd play one more year, which he only had one more year in his contract. And then he would get signed by someone else because we wouldn't be able to pay him what he wants. They said that the Red Sox and Mookie were $100 million apart at times in terms of total contract value that they were discussing. So it's like they weren't even close. And even, I guess, David Ortiz had tweeted about it like last week when they had started talking about the trade. Like, Mookie's got to get what he deserves in terms of a player. Even the Dodgers might not sign him again, but they'll use him for 1 year to try to win the World Series. They're gonna go all in. They're probably not done buying up or signing or trading for people just to be the team that beats the Nats, I guess, basically.
Yeah, so I know. So Bryce Harper has gotten I think it's Mike Trout has got that highest, like 300 something million.
High as shit. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, are we thinking that's on? Are we thinking that Mookie is going to get more than that?
I mean, it would be on par with that. Probably not more, but it all depends because Mike Trout got that last year, and this will be 2 years removed from that. So inflation, it depends on who's a free agent at the time as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Sheesh, man.
Baseball is super, players, and it's so weird because they let them. Oh my god, it's 12 years, $430 million is what Trout's deal is.
What in the and how much of that? And even if you retire and shit, you still get that money, don't you?
It all depends on what's guaranteed, I mean, so Mike Trout's 28, and that's his contract.
Oh my, if it's baseball, he can definitely get all that money.
His salary is $33 million, or that was 2018, $33 million, and that was before he signed it. So, and then hold on, Mookie Betts is 27, and he's on par in terms of numbers. He hasn't done it for as long, but he has. Well, how much does he make? Oh, I mean, $27 million, so not too far off, but
but doesn't have the big contract. With
but basically now the Red Sox, don't have to pay him that this year, and that dumps that much salary for the year, as well as David Price, which his contract's high as shit because he's old and he's just like a journeyman that gets his
David Price has
been in the World Series multiple times now too, and he's won Cy Young, so. Yeah, he gets.
Yeah, because I remember what was that first team? Was he
the Tampa Bay Rays?
Tampa Bay Rays. That's where I remember David Price from.
He's currently on a 7-year, $217 million contract, and that was signed in 2015 with the Red Sox. So that means now the rest of that goes to the Dodgers, basically. And it's the fucking Dodgers, so they have money. They have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson owns them.
I was like, I wonder why there's no salary cap in baseball and why other leagues have a salary cap. I'm sure there's somebody could explain that in very technical terms.
So it does. It does. Like 2020 salary cap is $208 million for each team.
Okay. So baseball does have a salary cap.
Yeah, but it has a luxury tax called the competitive balance tax.
So it's not as big of.
Oh no, that's in place of the salary cap in order to level the spending an individual team can spend on their roster. Because baseball teams are individually owned just like any other sport. Sometimes one team has more money than the other, and they can spend more money on players. In many other sports, there is a salary cap that limits what each team can spend on their players. If a league lacks a salary cap or luxury tax, any team can spend all the money they can afford on players. That means teams with more limited financial resources cannot afford top talent, putting them at a competitive disadvantage against rich teams. MLB implemented the competitive balance tax in 1997 to keep the competitive balance in the league. At the beginning of each year, a threshold is set by the commissioner's office that limits how much a team can spend on their players. In Major League Baseball, the competitive balance tax allows teams to go over the threshold but at a premium. The goal is to encourage big spending but still maintain balance and competition. So basically, the Red Sox are over that luxury tax or competitive balance tax. So they're trying to get back under it because there's a premium or penalties basically for going over it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, okay, listen to this. The Yankees, how many years surpassed the luxury tax? 2003 through 2017. Dodgers.
I would imagine.
Dodgers 2013 through 2017. Red Sox 04 through 07, 2010 through 2011, 2015 through 2016. And then Tigers, Giants, Cubs, Nats did it in 2017. Cubs did it 2016. Wow. What? Holy shit. But the tax is what you pay over the threshold, I guess. Holy shit. The Yankees, and I guess this is total tax paid. So they've paid $319 million just to be over it. So I guess that's just the tax they've paid, basically. So that doesn't include what they've spent on players at all. That's just what they from 2003 to 2017. So baseball is extremely complicated when it comes to contracts and the amount you can actually spend on teams, because people think it's, oh, well, there's a number they can't go above. No, they can definitely do it. They just got to pay extra.
Right, which is why baseball does it so much, because I don't know the exact rules for basketball and football, but I think the rules are such that if you go over your salary cap, there are hefty fines and penalties, and there's a lot more reprimanding by the league and the other owners. Whereas in baseball, it's like, okay, there is this competitive balance cap, but all that is required is you to pay extra money. And a franchise that is worth billions and will profit even larger profits by going over the luxury tax to get Mookie Betts or Aaron Judge, all these guys, it seems worth it if all you have to do is pay more money.
Well, it says those who carry payrolls above that threshold are taxed on each dollar above the threshold. The tax rate increases based on the number of consecutive years that a club exceeds the threshold. A team's competitive balance tax figure is determined using the average annual value of each player's contract on the roster. So basically, clubs that exceed the threshold by 20 to 40 million are subject to 12% tax. Those exceed by more than 40 are holy fuck, are taxed 42%
Jesus.
to 45%. Holy shit. That's so if you want to sign a guy for 100 million, you got to pay 50 million just to the league to do it.
Damn.
that right there is probably like, all right, fuck it. So I mean, it doesn't say how much each team, I'm sure I could look that up, but they don't go over by a ton. Like it said, total luxury tax for like the Nats when they went over in 2017 was like $3 million they went over by. So it's not like a ton that they go over by. So I mean, it's also a way to, I don't know, keep teams super competitive, because your owner, I mean, every owner, most of them are rich as fuck. They can put their own money into it if they want. That's why the Yankees, the Steinbrenners, who have owned them forever, they are the ones that constantly put, their own money into these contracts. That's why the fucking Yankees have all those goddamn rules, probably. You got to shave. You can't fucking have long hair. Like, you have to follow all that to a T.
Yeah, it's
that. And they're going to be so much better than the Red Sox this year. I will put money on that. I hope to be, prove them wrong. I do.
Yeah.
We still have JD Martinez, who's amazing. He's really good.
Oh, I have no idea. Well, I think I do know who that is.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the voting when Mookie won MVP. He finished third. So.
Oh, so he's.
Yeah, he's
really
a beast.
good.
Yeah, he's really good. He doesn't steal bases. He's not going to make crazy defensive plays, but he's going to hit fucking 40 home runs every year. So
Wow.
But yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
Mookie is as they call it, say, a 5-tool player. He can do everything. There's not many people that can do all that.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's only Trout and him.
Yeah,
I'm not a bit. Fuck. What I was gonna say? Damn, I completely lost my train of thought. No, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so I'm not. I used to be upset. Like, why do baseball players have the opportunity to make this much more money? And basketball players and football players, they have these pretty stringent caps placed on their salaries, but baseball players don't get as much fame. They are pretty famous. They do get a lot of what's the word when you're getting money from like brands,
endorsements.
Endorsements, yes. So I'm sure they're getting endorsements and such. But I feel like basketball and football players, man,
their endorsements are way higher. They're superstars. There's maybe a couple people in baseball that transcend the sport in terms of they can be recognized outside of it.
It's so few, man.
It's not Mike Trout. And maybe Mookie Betts is probably more recognizable than exactly. It's also because he's on the West Coast, because all those games are super late and nobody sees a lot of that. They start at 10 a fucking clock when everybody over here is going to sleep and shit. But the I don't know, Bryce Harper is one, I guess.
And even his fame was like a blip, and people were like, Bryce Harper, but nobody was really. I didn't have to go out and get the Bryce Harper shoes like I had to go out and get like the Kobe's or the LeBrons. You had to get those pair of shoes.
The NBA has max contracts, right? I'm reading that now.
Yes.
So I'm reading why baseball players make more. There's no salary cap or max contracts, which the MLB or the NBA has. I don't know about
and the NFL does too. I think so, right?
I don't know.
Actually, I don't know.
7 teams. Oh, this is from 2014. The baseball union is strong as fuck, apparently. The MLB Players Association.
Mm-hmm. So they fight to keep these.
Miller helped raise the minimum salary from $19,000 to $326,000. God damn, that's a big jump.
Where?
In the MLB.
Whoa. So players sitting on the bench who didn't get any burn went from making $20,000 a year
to
$300.
Time ago. Yeah. But that was a long time ago. 326. But it's steadily increased. It's way higher than that. The minimum contract for a guy that like catches the pitchers to warm them up in the bullpen that will never play. Let's see. Minimum MLB salary. It's it's $545,000 now.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Minimum. That's what the union got there. Unlike the NFL, MLB contracts are guaranteed, so players stand to earn all the money their teams have committed to them, even if they are cut from rosters. Oh,
yeah, that's. Yes,
I didn't know they're all guaranteed. I didn't know that.
Because I was reading a story not too long ago about a player. I forget his name. He had something like one of those crazy 12-year deals, and he's been out of the MLB since like it had been at least 5 years, and he was still getting paid a yearly salary as if he was still playing.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh. So I was like, man, you get that contract in Major League Baseball? Honestly, baseball players, athletes have to be very different mentally. Obviously, I think that goes without saying, but I think contracts are proof of that. Like, say particularly in baseball, Mike Trout is going to get that money whether he plays or not. So the fact that this motherfucker still shows up every day is
like,
insane to me.
Give me that.
It's insane.
Well, no, I'm sure there's violations he can have in the contract that, make it so he doesn't make it. So if he walks away, he's not going to get the money. I guess
that guaranteed money is guaranteed.
This also says
you get.
Another reason that certain players make a lot is because their teammates come so cheap. Most MLB players need more than 3 years of service time before they're eligible for salary arbitration. So most MLB players make something close to league minimum for the first 3 seasons of their career. Yeah. I mean, and minor league players get paid nothing. Dude, they have to have other jobs.
Oh yeah, I've heard the story.
And I guess they're easier to quantify, is what this is also saying, just in terms of individual performance plays a much bigger role in baseball than any other sport. Like, a wide receiver has to depend on the quarterback to throw a good pass. He can't just do it all himself, but a guy can hit a ball wherever he wants and, or make a diving catch or pitch a perfect game. Like, it's all up to you. Right. It's very individual until something happens.
Yeah.
But that was also written in 2014, so I don't know how accurate it still is, but wow, damn, 80 man. This is written in 2019. 80% of the largest sport contracts are signed in baseball. 3 in basketball, 1 in boxing. Ooh. Yikes,
man. Yeah, and I'm sure that's probably Floyd. But
it's him.
it's definitely Floyd. I always think about this, man, that it would be great to just make an NFL team and be on the practice squad. Because on the practice squad, you're playing a game year-round. You don't have the pressure on you of dropping the pass in the Super Bowl, and you still get paid like a few $100,000 a year. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, you don't have to worry about life-threatening, illnesses or injuries. Yeah, I mean sometimes, but not often.
I'm sure in practice, but not as frequently as in games.
Dude, this was written in June 2019, June 30th, 2019. It said, interesting fact, the first American football player ranking on this list is Andrew Luck from the Colts. Yeah, fuck off. He's not on there anymore.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Kind of the same reasons: no salary tax, luxury cap. Revenue sharing. I forgot about that. Modified MLB's revenue sharing program was introduced in 2002. Makes every club pay 31% of its net local revenue into a fund. Net local revenues describe the club's revenues less the actual stadium's expenses. These 31% are paid by every franchise into a pool, which is equally divided and shared between the clubs. This leads to even smaller clubs making a lot of money. So big.
Okay. So that way the fucking,
because you pay 30. Yeah. So like the Yankees, who probably make some of the most money of any team, you take 31% of what they made and put it into a fund, but 31% of what like the Tampa Bay Rays make. It's nothing compared to that. Maybe a third or a quarter of that. But they get back much more than they probably put in. A lot of teams do.
To keep it sounds like without that, it's keeping some of these franchises afloat.
Somehow their media rights too. I know like the TV contracts for baseball are crazy, and I don't know why. Like they still black out games in certain markets and stuff. It's like you're the only people that do that. You're assholes. A lot of money coming from media rights alone. The television rights agreement announced in 2018 between the MLB and Fox Sports is said to be worth $5 billion. And let's not forget the current deal is worth $4.2 billion. So that's just the next deal.
Wow.
In 2015, the Arizona Diamondbacks signed a deal said to be worth $1.5 billion with a local TV channel. Like it's just their local channel. Yeah.
That's just a local TV channel.
Yeah, so they could be the people that carry all their games, I guess.
Wow.
Right? It's like, oh, you want to show us on TV? Yeah, we'll take $1.5 billion for that, I guess.
Wow, that's a lot of money, and I wouldn't have thought. I guess it's a major sport, but I wouldn't have thought baseball was attracting those type of figures for television watching. Like because for me personally, as a passive fan. Watching baseball on TV, other than the playoffs, is excruciating.
Well, and that's
showing up to a game is actually not that bad for me.
That was another reason they said they get paid more is that their season is much longer than anyone else's. I mean, it's double the length of the NBA, 162 games. I mean, obviously they're not doing the running and everything but I mean, think about traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast and back and all over the country for how long is it? It's 6 months. It's April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, so 6 months of the year. I mean, and obviously other sports do that too, but they're playing every fucking day almost. They basically take Mondays off.
Why do they play so many games?
That's just how it is. They've talked about shortening it, but I mean, they only lengthened it, earlier this century, I guess. I don't know.
Jeez, I wonder who came up with the name. Oh yeah, 162 games. Let's just play for fucking ever. Every day for 6 months, we're just going to play.
Well, it was a 154 game season. And then they did 162. Oh, okay. Wow. It's actually super mathematical. It's because you will play each of your rival teams 18 times in the 162 games over the course of 6 months. It just works out like that.
Why do you need to play somebody 18 times?
18 games per rival because you have to determine who the best team in the division is. So
you need 18 games for that?
I mean, baseball, I guess dude, against each one.
I'm pretty sure you can figure that out in 5.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
5 games.
So all right, so then the World Series should be a best of 18.
But it started. How many games did it start at? I don't even know.
Why do we feel comfortable?
I don't know. It's been that for like a long fucking time.
Why do we feel comfortable deciding playoff games in 5, the World Series in 7?
No, it's okay. All of them are 7 now, except for the first round. The first round is now they got the wild card round because they're trying to.
It's best of 5.
Hype it up. Well, the wild card round is.
It's one game playoff,
right? Yeah, it's
right?
one game, yeah. And then the next round is best of 5, and then the championship
then everything
series
after that is best of 7.
Is best of 7. You know what's too fucking long are the NBA playoffs and the goddamn NHL playoffs because they're best of 7 for fucking 2 months. 2 months. Yeah. You got best of 7 series.
No, that's a lot.
And I feel like so many of them go 7, which is great. I love watching them, but it's like, goddamn, these playoffs have been on since fucking April, and now it's June. What is going on here?
Yeah, no, they are discussing some real changes to the NBA to make it more exciting. Take, for example, not doing an East and West, but doing just the top teams to play against each other until the finals instead of doing this because, take, for example, for like the last decade, the East has been ass. Like ass. It's been so bad. You knew exactly for the past 10 years, you knew with a 90% degree of certainty who was coming out of the East in basketball. The West was very competitive, but that for some reason that happens with the NBA a lot is that the league, the power shift, because the basketball is one of those, it is a sport where one player can make such a big difference.
Oh.
Right? So football. If you put Peyton Manning or Tom Brady on a team, you need a great coach. You need great receivers.
Yeah.
You need a great running back.
For sure.
In basketball, just the simple act of LeBron going, "I'm gonna go play for the Cavaliers." They go from a bottom-feeding
championship contender
team to a championship contender by one player saying, "Okay, I'm going to hoop over here." So because of that dynamic, the scale can tilt very drastically in either direction.
Oh, for sure. And I just actually found something else which I thought was pretty interesting. So the second highest number it ever was at was 82. Or like I guess that's the lowest it was ever at. Sorry. But so why are there this many games? From a more abstract perspective, baseball is the least deterministic of the major sports. You need a very large sample size of games to have confidence in knowing which teams are the best. I mean, in order to be successful in baseball, getting a hit 3 out of 10 times is considered successful.
It's really good.
That's terrible. If you're shooting 30% from the field and fucking in the NBA, you're not in the fucking NBA. You're out. You're out. You can't play no more. 30% from 3 is
bad.
Yeah, I mean, you might be a center. I mean, that's actually that's pretty good for a center. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really good.
All
for
depends
a center.
on which center, not Shaq.
But like Steph is in like this 36, 30. He's creeping towards the 40% range.
From 3?
From 3.
Exactly, yeah. So it says even in 162 games, some teams in some years will simply get lucky or unlucky to a significant degree. Baseball is all about that. I mean, there's so many weird statistics and situations that can happen. It also says because scoring in baseball is predicted on a sequence of low probability events combined with chaotic, unpredictable nature of hitting, the league average on-base percentage is .323, which means 32% of the time the league gets on base. Everyone.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, so it's like, well, goddamn, how's anyone gonna fucking score? And I mean, and you need several people in a row to get on base in order to score or do something. So it's just, I don't know. It says hockey,
and the chances go down once somebody gets on base. Like, that's crazy.
It says hockey is somewhat similar in that roughly 90% of the shots are blocked or missed. I didn't know that. Hockey is more physically tough, so they can't play every single day, obviously. Instead, they play basically as often as they can for 6 months and end up at 82 games. And that's probably how it is with basketball, because that season's pretty similar. Those motherfuckers are running for fucking 3 straight hours, basically, just forever. I mean, if you haven't played basketball in a while and then you try to play, I've done that multiple times. It's so difficult.
Good luck.
It's so difficult. It's so hard to run for that long.
Well, that's a fact.
It's a good transition now. I ran it for Mookie, or about Mookie, for Mookie, whatever. I've been yelling Mookie around the house, by the way, multiple times. Just Mookie, he's gone.
Just spazzing out.
Yeah, but on to actually the reason we were going to do this last Sunday, but didn't end up doing it. We got busy. But Kobe Bryant has passed away.
Yeah.
About a week and a half ago.
Yep. That was for me, man. I've had people in my life pass away. I've had Michael Jackson passed away, Prince passed away, both of whom I loved and admired. But there was something about Kobe's passing that even to this day just has affected me so differently. And I've come up with multiple theories that all make sense as to why. Part of it being the fact that he was very young. Part of it being that his daughter was with him.
Yeah.
Part of it being that it was in a helicopter that, you have less chance of dying in a plane and in aerial vehicles than you do in being in a car. I mean, the fact that I was in a coffee shop and I saw it on a guy's computer and I thought he was on the Onion and thought it was fake.
Oh my God.
And then when I Googled it and immediately it's like, yep, this is, and then on top of it, the fact that you truly in your bones believed that he was probably going to make an even larger impact off of the court
for sure.
than he did on the court.
Yeah, I was so excited when he retired, actually. I was like, damn, what is he going to do now? Like,
Same.
I mean, shit, he's been doing the same thing over and over again for the last 20 years at the highest level you could possibly do it at. What's he going to do now? Because he's obviously got so much, or had so much to give in terms of intensity and just drive towards being successful with things. For athletes, I feel like we put them on a different level than musicians, or I don't know what actors and actresses, I guess. They seem more invincible, I think, because it's a physical thing that they're doing. A very intense. I mean, singing, acting, physical, but it's very intense, and they're doing it against the other highest level people, and they can, you can see someone set themselves apart in a way that when you're watching it, that you're not going to see it again or very often in your life. And I mean, growing up in the time we did, it was during his, run and prime and everything. So it was extremely hard to take. It was, I never had a specific team in the NBA, but I was always biggest Kobe fan. He was always my guy.
Yeah.
And it was, like you said, somebody said it when I was playing Call of Duty, actually, over the mic. And I was like, what the fuck did I just hear? And then I got off kind of immediately, and I saw that the only article was TMZ, and I was like, damn, this is the only place that has it. Maybe it's fake. But then again, TMZ is not necessarily known for being fake. They're kind of known for being there on the fucking scene when shit is happening. To the dismay of most people. They don't like when they're there.
Too early. Yeah.
And it was terrible to see the pictures of the helicopter crash, just like the smoking and stuff from the hillside, or just anything that was on a news article. But to tell you the truth, there's one it's not funny, but I had a little bit of a kind of laugh about it, that of all the people that could get in some sort of accident, Kobe, I think, would be the one that would somehow overcome that, just in terms of the type of person he was. I was like, oh, damn. I guess, helicopter crash would be the thing that got him, because nothing else, like, you know, it seemed like nothing else could, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, I've been watching documentaries, and just I told you the other day I watched Muse again, and it was just that documentary is awesome, just because it goes through his whole, you know, childhood and high school life, and obviously everything in the NBA up until the point where he had come back. But just YouTube top 10 plays and shit, it's just terrible. Yeah. And every time I'm watching this stuff, I'm like, fuck, he's still here. Basically, it just seems like it, you know, because you're like, oh, he's yeah, and all the tributes, fucking the Lakers one, the LeBron speech and everything. I mean, it was tough.
Yeah, it's I'll first begin by saying I wasn't a huge fan of Kobe basketball wise.
Okay.
I'm not going to be one of those, but I loved Kobe. Now, every time I shot a ball or a piece of paper in the trash can, did I say Kobe? There was nobody said Jordan, nobody said LeBron.
No.
Everyone
something about that name, it just rings.
Everything, every time someone shot a ball for the past 20 years in their backyard, in the office, on the outdoor court, there was only one fucking name you ever yelled, whether you were a fan of him or not, and it was Kobe.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm a bit of a basketball purist in the sense that the reason I like European players like Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker so much is because their ability to pass and share the ball. I'm very
not necessarily Kobe's MO.
I'm so huge on team basketball, and so for me, Kobe was a sore spot because, of course, I respected his hustle, his work ethic, his game, but I was like, man, could Kobe be a better player if he passed more? But then I guess even Michael Jordan never really passed. But, you know, so it was hard to.
It's weird because it's like if he passed more, he wouldn't be Kobe.
He wouldn't be Kobe.
It wouldn't be his game. Like LeBron is a passer.
Passes a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And people have gotten on him about it, but eventually they're like, okay, that's his game. Like he likes to get his team the ball even more. And I think Kobe later in his career definitely did that because once he didn't have Shaq, he realized like, oh shit, I got to get this around to. I mean, these people have skills. They can offset. I can shoot every 9 of 10 shots and then give them one shot. Yeah. And if they miss, I'll dunk the shit out of it or something. But, I mean, it was. It was. So not a Kobe fan during your time?
Hold on, real quick.
No problem. Oh, there we go. I was saying you're not a Kobe fan, or so you weren't a fan of his play style, but were you a fan of like when he was in? You know, when they were going against, I mean, early in his career or later, when they were in the championship, were you rooting for him or were you rooting for the other team?
Bruh, I was the biggest Pistons fan. When they beat them, I was so happy. Chauncey, Tayshaun, Rip, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, I love that time.
Yeah, they were
Chauncey
awesome.
Billups is my favorite player of all time. Big Shot Billups is my fucking guy. I love him, man.
I watched Mouse at the Palace the other night.
Me too.
Me and Lydia were talking about stuff, and I was like, wait, because I saw Ron Artest so much because I was watching all this Lakers shit, and I was like, he got in some wild fight back in the day, like with the fans, and she was like, no, and we watched it, and I had to go find multiple angles because the first one I found was I think it was ESPN's coverage of it, and they didn't show all the good angles. NBA TV had some better ones. But then there was, I think it was NBA TV towards the end when, is it Jermaine O'Neal? Was that his name?
Dude. Across the floor and knocks this dude out.
I made Lydia, like, I've rewound it multiple times so we could watch it again because it was the guy that when Artest finally got out of the stands, two guys got on the floor, and Artest just starts going at it with the one guy, but the other guy tackles him onto the ground. They finally pull him apart, and then once the big dude stands up that tackled Artest, O'Neal just comes sliding in and hits him square in the fucking jaw, and the dude just goes, and he falls back like into his partner, like behind him, and he catches him. But it was such an awesome fight. Sorry, no.
It was great. It was
so that one, obviously, you were rooting for the Pistons.
Yeah, and so.
But what about from then on out?
So how do I say? I mean, again, and then when they faced the Celtics afterwards, I'm a huge Paul Pierce fan.
Okay.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I was this huge Kobe fan in terms of like wanting him to win. I respected his game so much, but I had other favorite players because I preferred their way of playing the game.
Oh yeah, I understand completely what you're saying. As I said, I loved him as a player, but all those times they were playing the Kings and Mike Bibby in the Western Conference Finals, I was always rooting Kings. And then as soon as they got to the finals, I'm like, all right, fuck it, do your thing, Kobe. I hope you win. But I was always rooting for them because Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, I don't know why, but fucking Peja. That's not who I was thinking of. Peja, dude, his fucking shot. I used to play with him.
That's what they called it.
In every game, I'd play with the Kings and use Peja, and it's just every fucking shot is in from three.
Dude.
He was. Oh my god, but I mean, I was because like during the 90s, I fucking rooted for the motherfucking Utah Jazz as much as I could when they played Michael Jordan. Every fucking time, I was like, "Go Stockton, go Malone," and they never fucking beat them. But you know,
no, not even close.
But I always I don't know. I try to root for the underdog a lot of the time, but
of course,
it was weird.
Human nature to a degree.
Because with Jordan, it was a hater mentality of mine because everyone liked him, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna like him. And then when Kobe came along, it kind of was the same thing, and then I learned to be like, you know what. I just love watching him shoot. It was ridiculous. I mean, the dunks are one thing, but I loved watching him back somebody down and do the fadeaway in their face. And just,
the 13 pump fakes.
Exactly. I don't remember which game, which 2K, and it might not even been 2K at the time because they had other NBA games for a while.
Yeah.
But it might have been NBA Live, but there was one game when they finally got down, like where you could back them down with Kobe, and it was. It was.
I think that's 2K3.
It was to a T. Like it was like, holy shit, that's his fucking move. Like you did it, and I just that was when I guess Bynum and what's his name. The big
Paul
dude,
Gasol?
Powell with the
Powell.
hair.
Powell. Yeah.
His name is a sound.
Pow. Is he saying pow? Pow.
Is he still in the league?
Who? Pow?
Powell.
No, I don't think so. I think he was up until recently.
Yeah.
But I think he just retired not too long ago.
He was on the Bulls at one point.
Yes, he was on the Bulls. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I don't keep up with the NBA as much as I used to, but
me either.
Yeah.
It's lost a lot of its luster to me. I think obviously I've talked about this before with
the super
LeBron
teams
kind of destroyed the league for me personally.
Well,
and again,
you know what
I'm
I forgot?
not a LeBron hater. I'm just saying that he changed the league in a way that is irreversible.
It was the Celtics. The Celtics did it with the first year they beat the Lakers. It was the first time that people that big had really combined, you know?
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, KG
maybe they didn't plan it.
15 years into his career.
Well, I know they didn't plan it. It was more of I think it was more of a front office plan, and then LeBron and company were like, oh, you know what, we could do that. Let's bring Ray down to Miami. It's a much better situation with this young Dwayne Wade character.
KG retired. KG retired like 2 years later.
I know. It was after they lost, right, to the Lakers the second time. Wait, he was on the team the second time when the Lakers, because that was 2 years later. Yeah. Because the Lakers beat the Magic in between that time.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep. I was not. I'm not going to sit here and say I was a huge Kobe fan. There were other people's games that I liked more. Had huge respect for the guy, and where I truly started loving Kobe and really going like, even though I didn't necessarily root for him, I wanted him to do well. Was when I started listening to him in interviews off the court.
Oh yeah,
man! When I started listening to interviews and seeing this guy, who this man was outside of basketball, that's when for me I was like, oh man, I'm a huge Kobe fan. He was extremely smart.
Yeah.
He was very thoughtful.
Yep.
He spoke like 3 different languages. You could tell that the guy was so much more than just I pick up ball, I dunk ball, I put it through hoop. Like a lot of these guys are. He was much, much, much more than that.
Yep.
And that's when I really like fell in love with who he was as a man. Like that is somebody I would tell my son to look up to and to aspire to be. And obviously, well, let's address the elephant in the room. There was the rape charge. Now, I don't think he was guilty, and I'm not just saying that because I like Kobe. Obviously, the charges were dismissed. He settled He settled in civil court. It's undisclosed because obviously that was part of the non-disclosure agreement. But they found like 3 different semens in this woman's pants. Like, come on, she saw an opportunity to make money, and she did.
She did. She won.
She won. Like, and then and Kobe's wife also won with like a $10 million ring. But
I don't know if she would say that because I was watching the documentary and I don't know if you remember from Muse, but they had a miscarriage during it.
Oh yeah. It was that was
That's what the ring was for. I don't think it was for the cheating, maybe, but yeah, it was. It seemed like a tough time.
It coincided with that.
I will say I love the Dave Chappelle joke about him trying to beat the case on the court.
Play for your freedom.
Wait, that was him. That was the San Francisco special where he had the mustache, right? Yeah, it's like play for your freedom.
So
beat the case on the court.
Yeah, like I mean, Kobe was such a complicated character, and I think that's what made people so drawn and enamored by him. Was bigger than basketball.
Yeah, and that's what he said. That's when the Mamba mentality came out. Was after Shaq was gone. It was him by himself, kinda, and he had this personal life drama going on where it was a lot of shit was happening, and he basically said he was able to block everything out, just play the game while he was playing the game, and tune everything else out, which is what you have to do, obviously, to be as great as he was. His quotes about like not having, being close, being a great friend to anyone, being a great son, any of that stuff, because it's like you sacrifice things for greatness, and it's like, holy shit, you do. It's nuts.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if you ask yourself this question, but it's a question I've asked my mom, I've asked myself, I've asked every person close to me. I've tried to, I guess because I know the answer, but I want somebody to tell me something different.
Okay.
And the question is always, can you reach Kobe level in not just basketball, but anything in life, and also have great relationships, be a good friend,
maybe
have fun in life?
If that's
never seen it done.
If that's what you're striving to be Kobe level at.
But what?
If you're trying to have the Mamba mentality with your relationships, I don't know how exactly that would work. That seems like counterproductive.
I don't think that works. I don't know if that's the correct approach.
Don't be Mamba with your significant other. That's not good. It's hard to say because that's a lot of great people. I'm sure are they're alone or aren't great at their relationships or with other people, don't have a ton of friends, what have you, because they focus on their professional life and not on their personal life. It's either, you can have a balance or you can have it one way or the other. It's all depends on how you want to live your life, and that's the best part because everyone can do it, how they want. But he set such a good example of, all right, well, if you want to do it this way, this is how you do it, and I'm only going to do it this way, and if you get in my way, I'm going to still do it this way and get you out of my way. At the same time.
And
go ahead.
We all only have 24 hours in a day. That's why he wore the number 24. It's everyone. It doesn't matter. Rich, poor, young, old, black, white. We all have 24 hours in a day. Yep. And how you decide to choose those, how you're going to spend those 24 hours is entirely up to you. And yes, it may be the case that you cannot reach some levels of success and simultaneously have a son who absolutely adores you and have a wife that loves you. You may, but if that's what you choose to do, make that decision and go with it. Be comfortable in your decision, and whatever it is that you want out of life, chase it with the fervor that Kobe did. Because if there's anything
good message.
I got out of him passing was, I'm telling you, ever since that day, I cannot stop thinking about death. I cannot.
Agreed.
I have thought about it constantly, almost from day to night, that there is a day I'm no longer going to exist.
Yep.
And I have no idea when that is going to be.
True.
And what do I want my legacy to be? How do I want to be remembered? How do I make it so that if I die tomorrow, I can sit there and say, like, you know what? I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And even if I didn't do it forever, even if I just figured out how to do what I wanted to do today, at least I figured it out for a day, for an hour, for a minute.
Yeah.
And that is something I don't think I'm ever going to stop thinking about, man. Because that Kobe, in a weird way, what Kobe's death did is it peeled back this veil. Because we all want to think that someone somewhere has it figured out or has it all together or is in control. And what Kobe's death did was exposed how fragile and vulnerable every literal person on this fucking planet is. I don't give a damn how much money you have.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Me and you, if you were a billionaire and I had nothing, we are equal, bro.
Yeah.
If you get hit by a bus, you're gonna die just like I am. It doesn't matter how much money you got, bro. And that, man, and I think that awakening of, like, man, there's nobody here who has it figured out. There's nobody here who has any special access, special privileges. And I was such a victim of that. Because you think, like, as soon as I get money, problem solved. No, man. No.
It just brings more.
It just brings more, man.
It does. Biggie said
it. Dude, more money, more problems, bro. You know? So, man. For the little part that Kobe did for me, the way I feel like I can honor not only him, but all the people who pass away too early, is to really just live my life exactly how I want to.
That's a good
I don't
message.
know what else I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I
think
could
a lot
do
of people
to,
are taking his death like that, just in terms of just, you know, the dedications I've seen and people. I mean, it's crazy to see it affect really mostly other NBA players, you know, other people that played with him or he impacted, like they're in the NBA now and he was their favorite player coming up or something. Like, fuck. I feel like I saw Shaq cry the other night. I mean, kinda on TV when he was talking, when they were just sitting in the chairs, and it was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like you didn't even think they were all that close, and it's still just, you know, it's nuts.
But in reality, they really were.
Yeah, because he had an impact. He was saying that Kobe was texting his son or helping him along with basketball, basically. And it's like, well, what the fuck? It's amazing that the impact that he had, but it also has that lasting impact that obviously will live on past him. Yeah,
and I think the when I think about Kobe's death, the part that has really that deep thing within the recesses of my mind that I try not to think about but still comes up quite frequently is, okay, I know he died with his daughter, and I could only hope that they died quickly, because there is that off chance that when they crashed, they were alive long enough for one of them to see the other die.
Well, yeah, and I try not to think
that.
About
Yeah, I cannot help it, because like you just think, for me, I just thought about you're in the air and then you find, okay, the plane doesn't just crash immediately, it spirals. So you're looking at your fucking daughter.
Well, they weren't very high, and they said it was pretty fucking fast. So maybe there was a split second or a couple seconds, yeah, but I mean, at least I would like to think that, I mean, it was
immediate.
Well, yeah, but if you want to think of anything that happened when they were going down, that, you know, he was there with his daughter and strong for her, I'm sure. Like, that's at least how I like to keep it in my head, just because I would assume that's the type of person he was and stuff. And obviously, all the other people on the flight as well.
Them as
terrible.
well.
But, so do you have a favorite or lasting, like, on the court memory of him? Something he did?
100%.
What's that?
After he won a playoff game against it was in the Western Conference. The one where he pulls the right side of his jersey.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I
feel like
saw
he hit like 3 or 4 shots.
I
think he hit like 3 or 4 shots.
And he won it over. And he hit a shot at the buzzer.
Yeah, he brought him back, tied it, and then hit a buzzer shot to win it. Yeah. And I don't have.
And he just. Woo. That was my favorite one.
I don't have like there's a ton of good ones like that, especially his reaction afterwards. But there were multiple times in college, my sophomore year, so this would have been 2008, I guess, 2006, 7, 8. Yeah, so 2008, I think. And we would come back from like a party or just be up late drinking in the dorm room. And obviously the Lakers games came on late. So, we'd be watching until 1 a.m. And we would wake up the dorms multiple times, me and my roommate, just screaming about Kobe hitting buzzer shots or like a 3 in somebody's face with time on to tie it or something. And it was just easy for him. And we were just going nuts. And people were banging on us, shut the fuck up. And we were just going nuts because of Kobe. And I don't know. I'll always just remember how awesome that was.
or the iconic scowl. The one where he puts his teeth out from the bottom. That's my favorite. You just knew when you saw that scowl, you were like, if I was a defender or on the other team, if I ever saw that on Kobe's face, I'd be like, oh shit,
I'm in trouble.
Oh shit, bro. This man's about to go bananas, bro. And sure enough, when you saw that scowl, it was Kobe time.
It was
Mamba time, bro.
Did I send you the screenshot of Nick Young and who was the other guy? It was Nick Young and somebody else that was on the team when Kobe was in his like last year or second to last year maybe. And they said that after they lost to Portland by like 30, he took all of their Kobes and threw them away. Like, threw them all in the trash in the locker room in front of them. He said, give me these. Y'all don't deserve this shit.
Damn.
And it was just, I read that, and it was them tweeting about it. They were like, remember when he took our shoes after the Portland game and threw them in the trash? And then another guy chimed in like, yeah, he said we were too soft and didn't deserve it. I was like, damn, that's so fucking Kobe right there.
That's so Kobe, dude. Yeah. The competitive,
that was like his last year when they were obviously not doing well at all,
Yeah. I owe Kobe a lot in the sense that he made me feel okay with being as competitive as I am.
Oh god damn.
Because I might be not okay.
I don't know if there's anyone as competitive as him. I mean, Jordan was very competitive, but the intensity that he carried with him everywhere. It was like,
crazy,
do you take any time off? Are you like this with your kids too? Are you super Mamba mentality with them? We gotta shoot 5,000 shots before fucking breakfast. I feel like he lived in the gym though too. You always heard stories about that where he'd shoot 2,000 fucking shots or something. Like he just keep fucking doing it. There was I watched Lydia's face while we were watching the Kobe documentary, and she had never seen Muse before. But there was one part, and this is during his rehab, of his Achilles. And he's in the gym shooting threes or free throws. It's one of the two. I think it's threes. And he's just taking the thing, not jumping or anything, and they focus on the hoop, and it's just yeah. And Lydia's like, I was like, yeah, he's just, if nobody's guarding him, he's just going to make all of them. Like,
he's going to make every single one of them, dude.
Because this is what he does. He's done this more than anything else in his life. Like,
I've played with D1 players just playing around in like the gym. And I mean, to give you some sense of what NBA players are like, D1 players, even there was even a D3 player this happened with. Unless they mechanically fuck up on their own, they will not miss.
It's going
There's nothing you, a regular human being, can do to cause them to miss.
Yeah.
The only thing that can make them miss playing against peons is themselves.
Yeah.
But if they don't fuck up, they will make 100% of their shots. Stab them. Kicking isn't enough. Kicking isn't enough. You'd have to stab them. And
hold their shooting arm down while they're shooting.
So yeah, man, that was a beautiful thing that Kobe did for me. Is I would come home and like I would sit there and think to myself, like, what's wrong with me? I want to win so bad.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm playing a pickup game, if I'm playing tic-tac-toe. It doesn't matter. I swear to God, Andrew, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I want to fucking win. And people keep telling me this bullshit. We're just playing this game. I don't give a fuck. I want to win.
But I have a question for you. Is it that you love to win or you hate to lose? I hate to lose. I'm a hate to lose person. And that's what makes me want to win. I can't, like, winning is fine.
That feeling.
Winning is fine, but the losing feeling is worse than the winning feeling is good.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's more bad than the winning feeling is good, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Research has proved this 1,000 times over that people feel significantly worse if you take $10 from them than they feel good if you give them $10.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not even a close call.
Right.
People fucking hate getting $10 taken from them.
Yeah.
But giving them $10 just like, it's all right. I'll take $10. But, and also another thing I want to point out about Kobe is the fact that when he first, I don't know if you remember his first two seasons in the league. They were not good.
Yeah, his playoff experience
they were not good.
In that first year was really bad. It was like 4 air balls in a row in that playoff year.
Row.
And now it was winding down to like they needed to win that. That was an important game.
Yes. Now I challenge you, my guy. I challenge you.
He was 18 years old.
Yes. I challenge you to find another person who, in the beginning of their career, falls on their face that publicly and bounces back.
Yeah.
I don't know of one.
I'm sure it drove him for sure. He and it's weird. There was in his first game when he came in and got fouled on his first shot and he was shooting free throws. The announcer was saying, at this time last year, he was playing for Lower Merion High School, and it's like, what the fuck? He's playing for the late. Oh my god! I know LeBron did it too, but like, it was just weird. Like, it was just weird to hear him say that. Plus, Kobe just looked. I mean, he was big, obviously, but he just looked like a kid still in the face when he first came in. Like, he looked so young.
He did look young.
He was very thin, not like Kevin Durant thin. Not Kevin Durant scrawny when he came in, but
But Kevin Durant is 7 foot. You can be 7 foot and be scrawny. You can't be 6'6" and scrawny.
I think in the NBA Combine, you bench press. God, I forget what it is. It's not a lot for a professional athlete. And he didn't do much. Durant did not do much. I remember people making fun of him for a long time for that. Yeah. Like, God damn, he can shoot, but he can't lift the bar.
Yeah, dude. I would be hard pressed to find another player, and I don't think it matters what sport.
Yeah.
Fall on your face to that degree. I mean, it was so humiliating, and to bounce back the next year and have that drive you to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, he didn't have a lot of friends. Like, look, let's be honest. When Kobe was in the league at first, he was not liked because of his childhood, right?
He
bounced from
he wasn't really liked
awkward foreign kid
his whole career.
Yeah, like technically, Kobe was a foreign kid because he grew up in Italy, spoke fluent Italian. Italian was what he was.
Yeah,
and then he had to come to America and adjust to the customs and the way we do our thing here. But yeah, man, I think from an early age, it speaks to the mental toughness this guy had.
Yeah,
because rather than most kids, I'm not gonna cast anybody under a blanket, but from what I've seen, that most kids, when they get under these situations where they're ostracized, they usually turn to destructive measures, whether it be drugs, alcohol,
straight to basketball,
whatever.
Yeah.
And he did something productive and became fucking great at it. So, man. Yeah, man. Kobe was just He was a different dude, man.
One of kind.
He was a different dude, and it's the world, man. And here's one thing. Here's something positive that Kobe's death did do. For a couple of days, man, this world was united in a way that it hasn't been, I feel, in quite a long time.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how it reverberated through, different countries and stuff, really.
Every corner of this world.
I don't know what game it was, but there was a soccer match, and at the 24th minute, they held up a sign that said, "Rest in peace, Kobe and Gianna, together forever." And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, dude, just some random soccer game, and these fans made a huge banner and hung it up, or, held it up at the 24th minute. And then, all the different things that the NBA did in terms of taking the shot clock violation back-to-back, the Spurs and whoever did that, maybe the Rockets, I forget who it was.
Oh, I'm pretty sure every team did that.
Yeah, a bunch of people. Yeah, it was just, it just speaks to the impact he had, man. It sucks when somebody goes, but yeah, the way of life, as you said, everybody goes, and you just got to realize that you got to spend your time wisely, which he did, obviously, and
obviously.
It's just, it doesn't make it hurt any less, I guess.
Yeah. And I was hoping naively that moment of togetherness could last. It's like we lost someone that had a big impact on a lot of people's lives. Can we somehow use that to kind of stop being Republican and Democrat, black and white, us and them?
No.
And can we realize? Can we get something positive out of this great man's legacy? And for a little bit, for a while, can we just come together and treat each other with respect? But that was too much to ask because the impeachment trial had to go on, and then everybody was like, "No, fuck you, no, fuck you," and it was forgotten about.
Well,
but
did he get? Did he get let off today?
Yeah.
He did. He got somebody said, I was playing Call of Duty, and somebody said MAGA stands for "My ass got acquitted." I was like, that's pretty good. That was pretty fucking good.
That was pretty fucking good, man.
But speaking of Kobe again, I think I was telling you this, but on Call of Duty, there's been quite a few people that have changed their clan tag, which can only be, I think, 4 letters long, to Kobe.
Yeah.
Half the fucking people I play against are now Kobe clan tags, and I've seen some different weapons with different colors on them and different things. I've been maybe throwing grenades and yelling Kobe when I get a kill with them. Just different things. Just different things to honor the man. It's the little things.
Yeah, it's the little things, man. So, dude, this thing is short, man. I know I have spent a lot of my life living for other people, trying to make other people happy, and just not really living my life the way I wanted. And it's time to do things a little bit differently. You've definitely already made that leap. You've kind of set yourself free and on a different journey. And
trying to.
No, and I respect the hell out of you for that. And man, I couldn't be happier for you. And it's time I do the same thing, because I don't ever want to leave this earth and right before I go think about all the things I could have or should have done. So
yeah. Well, that's a great way to wrap it up, actually.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything else, I mean, that was I think covering Kobe was our main point.
Primary objective. Yeah. Yep.
So we'll call this one Mamba Forever or something like that.
Yeah, please.
But I'll play us out, and thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Kobe.
Town that I grew up. Now I'm on a boat to Bermuda. I feel like damn. I'm on a boat to Bermuda.